Every Thanksgiving, my sister dumped her 5 kids on me until I changed my locks. She had no idea I was done playing her game. Cambria, don't be ridiculous. You always watch them on Thanksgiving. My sister Kate's voice dripped with that familiar entitlement that made my jaw clench. I gripped my phone tighter, staring out my apartment window at the Chicago skyline. Not this year, Kate. I have plans. Plans? She laughed that sharp, dismissive laugh I'd grown to despise. What plans could possibly be more important than family? My own life, actually. Find a babysitter. You're being selfish. The kids are already asking for you. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but not from fear, from years of suppressed rage finally bubbling to the surface. Hi, I'm Cambria. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of how I finally stood up to my entitled sister and reclaimed my life. But before I continue, please like, share, and subscribe to hear more stories like this. I'm 36 years old, single, and I live in a comfortable loft apartment in Lincoln Park, Chicago. I work as a marketing director for a tech startup, which means I spend 60-hour weeks building campaigns and managing a team of 12 people. My job is demanding, my schedule is packed, and my time is valuable. My older sister Kate is 40 and has 5 children. Grayson, age 12, Harper, age 10, Knox, age 8, Penelope, age 6, and little Beckett, who just turned 4. Yes, 5 kids. Her husband Dalton works as a pharmaceutical sales rep and travels 3 weeks out of every month, leaving Kate to handle everything alone, or so she claims. They live 45 minutes away in Naperville, in one of those sprawling suburban houses with a 3-car garage and a basketball hoop in the driveway. Their home is constantly chaotic, always messy, and somehow, despite having 5 times the square footage of my apartment, never seems to have enough room for all the noise. Our parents, Robert and Patricia Sullivan, retired to Scottsdale, Arizona 5 years ago. They adore Kate's kids but maintain a carefully curated distance. We did our time raising children, my mother always says. Now we're focusing on ourselves. Our younger brother Griffin is 32 and lives in Portland, Oregon with his fiancée. He's conveniently 2,000 miles away from all the family dysfunction, which I'm absolutely certain is deliberate. Griffin video calls for birthdays and major holidays, expresses vague sympathy for my situation, and then returns to his blissfully drama-free West Coast life. The Thanksgiving tradition started 6 years ago, back when Kate only had 3 kids. She called me 3 days before the holiday, her voice sugary sweet with manufactured desperation. Cambria, I need the biggest favor. Dalton's regional manager invited us to this incredible Thanksgiving dinner at his estate in Lake Forest. It's crucial for his career trajectory, but it's strictly adults only. Could you possibly watch the kids? I'd had plans to join my friend Natalie for Thanksgiving. Natalie was also single, worked in finance, and hosted an annual Friendsgiving that had become my favorite holiday tradition. But Kate sounded genuinely stressed, and I thought, it's just one day. How bad could it be? Sure, I said, already regretting it. What time? We'll drop them off around 1 and pick them up by 8. You're an absolute lifesaver. That Thanksgiving, I spent 9 hours managing 3 children under age 7. They destroyed my apartment. Grayson, who was 6 then, spilled an entire bottle of grape juice on my cream-colored sofa. Harper dumped a box of crackers behind my entertainment center. Knox had a complete meltdown because I didn't have the specific brand of chicken nuggets he would eat. Apparently, only the dinosaur-shaped organic ones were acceptable. Kate and Dalton arrived at 10:30, not 8. They both reeked of expensive wine and barely acknowledged the disaster zone that was once my living room. Same time next year? Kate said, kissing my cheek like it was already decided. Like I'd just signed some invisible contract. I should have said no right then. Should have established that this was a one-time emergency favor, not the beginning of a tradition. But I didn't. I was too tired, too overwhelmed, and too conditioned by years of family dynamics that positioned me as the accommodating younger sister. The next year, Kate had 4 kids, The year after that, 5. And every single Thanksgiving became identical. Kate would call a few days before, inform me, not ask, inform, that she was dropping the kids off, and I'd spend 8 to 10 hours as an unpaid, unappreciated babysitter while she and Dalton attended some networking event or fancy dinner party. But it didn't stop at Thanksgiving. The requests multiplied like rabbits. Christmas Eve became mine to handle. Easter Sunday. Random Saturdays when Kate decided she desperately needed couple time. 4th of July because the kids are just too much for fireworks events. She never asked if I had plans, never considered that I might have my own life, my own friends, my own desire to actually enjoy a holiday. She simply assumed I was available because I was single and childless. "You don't have kids, so you have all this free time," she'd say, as if my life was just empty hours waiting to be filled with her children's demands. My friends noticed. Natalie stopped inviting me to things because I canceled so frequently. "I understand your sister needs help," she said one night over drinks, "but Cambria, when do you get to have a life?" My coworker Lauren was more direct. "Why do you keep saying yes? She's completely using you." "She's my sister." Family helps family. Family respects family. There's a difference. But I kept saying yes, kept rearranging my life around Kate's convenience, kept swallowing my resentment and exhaustion because saying no felt impossible. Because family is family. Because good sisters help each other. Except it wasn't helping each other. It was me giving endlessly, while Kate took without gratitude, without reciprocation, without even basic respect for my time. This year, everything changed. It started in mid-October when Kate called about Thanksgiving plans. She didn't even bother with pleasantries. "So, same arrangement as always. We'll drop the kids at your place around noon this year. Dalton's boss is hosting this huge thing in Evanston, and we absolutely cannot miss it." Something inside me snapped. Maybe it was the assumption in her tone. Maybe it was 6 years of accumulated resentment. Maybe I'd just finally had enough. "Actually, Kate, I'm doing something different this year." Silence. Then, different? Like what? Like having Thanksgiving for myself. Maybe going out with friends. Maybe just staying home and relaxing. Either way, I won't be available for babysitting. She laughed. Actually laughed. "Cambria, you say this every year and then you take the kids anyway. Don't be dramatic." "I'm serious this time. I'd like Thanksgiving off." "Off?" Her voice sharpened. "You're not working. You're just sitting at home doing nothing." Watching 5 kids alone for 10 hours isn't nothing, Kate. It's exhausting. It's a full day of work that I do for free, repeatedly, without any appreciation. "Oh my God, you're so exaggerating. They're family. Besides, this dinner is critically important for Dalton's career. His boss specifically mentioned wanting FaceTime with the rising performers." "Then hire a babysitter." "Do you have any idea what a babysitter costs for 5 kids on a major holiday? That's insane when you're right there and available." "I'm not available." "Cambria, don't be selfish. We need this opportunity." There it was. That word that always made me cave, always made me swallow my own needs and comply. Selfish. As if wanting one holiday to myself after 6 years of free childcare was somehow self-centered. As if my time, my plans, my life mattered less than hers because I hadn't produced children. But this time, something was different. This time, the word didn't make me feel guilty. It made me angry. "No, Kate, find someone else." Long silence. Then her voice turned cold. "Are you seriously doing this right now?" "Completely serious." "Fine, be that way. But don't come crying to me when you're alone on Thanksgiving with no family around." She hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, feeling simultaneously relieved and terrified. I'd actually done it. I'd actually said no. I called Griffin for moral support. He answered on the second ring. "Let me guess," he said. "Kate's mad you won't babysit on Thanksgiving?" "How did you know?" Because she called Mom, who called me, demanding I talk sense into you. I told her you were making a healthy decision and she should mind her own business. Really? Really? Cambria, Kate's been exploiting you for years. Everyone can see it except you and Mom. But what if she really needs help? Then she needs to plan better and respect your boundaries. You're not her personal daycare service. The week before Thanksgiving, Kate launched a full-scale guilt campaign. First, she had the kids FaceTime me. Aunt Cambria, Mommy says you don't want to see us on Thanksgiving. Penelope's little voice was trembling, her eyes watery. My heart cracked. Of course I want to see you, sweetie, but Aunt Cambria has plans this year. Kate's voice came from off-camera, sharp and pointed. See, kids? Aunt Cambria's plans are more important than you. Rage flooded through me. She was using her own children as emotional weapons, manipulating them to make me feel guilty. But I kept my voice calm and warm. I love you all so much. How about we have a special day together the weekend after Thanksgiving? Just us. We can go wherever you want. Really? Harper's face brightened. Can we go to Navy Pier? Absolutely. Whatever you want. Kate ended the call abruptly. An hour later, my phone buzzed with a text. Hope you're happy making children cry. I didn't respond. 2 days before Thanksgiving, my mother called. I knew exactly what was coming. Cambria, Kate tells me you're refusing to help with the children this year. I'm not refusing to help, Mom. I'm just not available on Thanksgiving. But you're always available on Thanksgiving. It's become a family tradition. A tradition I never agreed to. It just sort of happened and then became expected. Family members make sacrifices for each other, Cambria. That's what love means. I've been sacrificing every major holiday for 6 years, Mom. I'd like one for myself. Her sigh was heavy, disapproving. You sound bitter. That's not an attractive quality. I closed my eyes and counted to 10. I'm not bitter, Mom. I'm tired. Well, Kate is extremely upset. She might have to cancel very important plans because of your selfishness. Then she should have arranged proper childcare instead of assuming I'd always be available. I don't know where this attitude is coming from. You used to be such a sweet, accommodating girl. I still am, Mom, but I'm also allowed to have boundaries. After we hung up, I sat on my couch feeling like the villain of my own family story. But underneath the guilt was something stronger: determination. I was done being taken for granted. The day before Thanksgiving, I was in a meeting at work when my phone lit up with a text from Kate. Kids are excited to see you tomorrow, dropping them off at noon as usual. I stepped out of the conference room and called her immediately. Kate, I already told you I'm not available. Oh, I thought you were just being moody. You'll get over it. I'm not being moody. I have plans. I'm going to Friendsgiving at Natalie's. Cancel them. No. Cambria, don't be ridiculous. And there we were, right back where we started. Except this time, I wasn't backing down. Kate, I'm not taking the kids tomorrow. I've told you this repeatedly. Find other arrangements. What arrangements? It's the day before Thanksgiving. Every babysitter in Chicago is already booked. That's not my problem. You've had weeks to figure this out. My problem? Her voice rose to a near shriek. After everything I've done for you. What have you done for me? I interrupted. Name one thing. One single thing you've done for me in the past 6 years. Silence. You can't, can you? Because you haven't done anything. This relationship is completely one-sided. I give and you just take. You treat me like free labor, not like a sister. I can't believe how selfish you're being. These are your nieces and nephews. Don't you love them? Of course I love them. That's not what this is about. This is about you respecting my time and my boundaries. We have to go to this dinner, Cambria. It's not optional. Then pay for a sitter. I'm sure there are agencies that handle holiday care. I'm not paying someone $200 when you're perfectly capable of doing it for free. And there it is. That's exactly the problem, Kate. You see me as free labor, not as a person with my own life, my own needs, my own value. This is unbelievable. You're being incredibly hurtful. And you've been incredibly entitled for 6 years. Find someone else. I hung up. My hands were shaking, my heart pounding, but I also felt something I hadn't felt in years. Free. Lauren, who'd been hovering nearby, gave me a thumbs up. Finally! I'm so proud of you. That evening, I made a decision. Kate had shown up at my apartment unannounced before, always claiming some emergency that required my immediate help. She had a key from 2 years ago when I'd gone on vacation and needed someone to water my plants. I called my building super. This is going to sound strange, but I need my locks changed tonight. Is that possible? Having trouble with an ex? Something like that. He had a locksmith there within 2 hours. New locks, new keys, new sense of security. I felt the weight lifting from my shoulders with every turn of the screwdriver. Thanksgiving morning dawned bright and cold. I woke up excited for the first time in 6 years. I'd bought a nice bottle of Pinot Noir for Natalie's Friendsgiving and made my famous apple crisp from scratch. I took my time getting ready, putting on my favorite burgundy sweater dress and actually doing my makeup. At 11:30, my doorbell started ringing. Then the pounding started. Cambria, open this door right now. I looked through the peephole. Kate stood there with all 5 kids and Dalton, who looked deeply uncomfortable. The kids were dressed up, clearly ready for a day at Aunt Cambria's apartment. Grayson was already on his phone. Harper held Beckett's hand. They all looked confused. I cracked open the door, keeping the chain lock engaged. What are you doing here? What do you think? We're dropping off the kids. I told you multiple times I'm not available today. You're clearly home. I can see you standing right there. Being home doesn't mean I'm available. I have plans. Just take the kids, Cambria. We're already running late for the dinner. No, I'm not taking them. You need to leave. Are you serious right now? Her face was turning red. The kids are here. What am I supposed to do with them? That's not my problem. You had weeks to make other arrangements. Grayson spoke up, his voice embarrassed. Mom, let's just go home. Aunt Cambria said she wasn't available. You knew this. Be quiet, Grayson. Kate's voice was sharp. She turned back to me. If you don't take these kids right now, I will never forgive you. You're ruining everything. You're ruining your own plans by not respecting my boundaries. Now please leave before I call building security. Security? On your own sister? You've completely lost your mind. Dalton finally spoke, putting a hand on Kate's shoulder. Come on, honey, we need to go. She's not going to change her mind. But the dinner, Dalton, your boss, we'll bring the kids. It'll be fine. It's adults only. Then we don't go. His voice was firm. Cambria made her position clear weeks ago. This is on us for not believing her. I was surprised to hear Dalton take my side. He'd always been passive, always let Kate steamroll everyone. Kate's face contorted with rage. You're a selfish, bitter woman, Cambria. I hope you enjoy your pathetic life alone. I actually will. Have a good Thanksgiving. I closed the door and locked it. Both locks. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears, but underneath the adrenaline was something else. Relief. Freedom. The text started immediately. You've destroyed Thanksgiving. The kids are crying because of you. I hope you're proud of yourself. Mom was right. You've changed into someone cruel. I blocked her number, silenced my phone, and went to Friendsgiving. Natalie's townhouse in Wicker Park was warm and inviting, filled with 15 people who actually wanted to be there. We ate incredible food: herb-roasted turkey, sweet potato casserole with pecan streusel, homemade cranberry sauce with orange zest, and 7 different kinds of pie. We played Cards Against Humanity, told embarrassing stories, and laughed until my face hurt. Several times throughout the day, I caught myself thinking, this is what holidays are supposed to feel like. Not obligation, Not resentment, not exhaustion, just joy and genuine connection with people who valued me. My mother called the next day. I let it go to voicemail. Her message was predictably accusatory. Cambria, what you did yesterday was cruel and unacceptable. Kate had to miss a very important business dinner because you couldn't be bothered to watch your own nieces and nephews for a few hours. This is not how our family operates. Call me back immediately so we can discuss your behavior. I didn't call back. Griffin called me that evening. I heard about yesterday. Mom's version sounds wildly exaggerated. What really happened? I told him everything. The weeks of saying no, Kate showing up anyway, the changed locks, all of it. He was quiet for a moment. I'm sorry I wasn't there to back you up in person. I knew Kate was taking advantage of you, but I didn't realize how severe it had gotten. You're 2,000 miles away. It's not your responsibility. Distance is exactly why I can see things clearly. Kate's always been entitled. Mom and Dad spoiled her because she was the oldest, then because she got married young, then because she had kids. You and I were just expected to accommodate her forever. Well, I'm done accommodating. Good. Stand your ground. They'll try to wear you down, but don't let them. The bombardment continued for weeks. My mother called daily with increasingly manipulative messages. Kate sent long emails about how I'd betrayed the family, destroyed relationships, damaged her children psychologically. Even some of Kate's friends reached out on social media, telling me I was heartless. But Dalton surprised me. He sent a private message 3 weeks after Thanksgiving. I owe you an apology. We took advantage of your generosity for years and never respected your boundaries. That wasn't right. I've started going to therapy to work on my conflict avoidance, and I suggested Kate do the same. I hope someday we can rebuild our relationship with you on healthier terms. I appreciated that more than he knew. But I still needed space. During those months, something unexpected happened. Without the constant obligation to Kate's family, I actually had time for my own life. I went on dates, real dates where I didn't have to cancel last minute. I took a glass-blowing class. I read actual books without interruption. I remembered who I was outside of being the family's backup childcare. Lauren noticed the change. You look different, she said one morning at our team meeting. Lighter. I feel different. It's amazing what happens when you stop letting people exploit you. 6 weeks after Thanksgiving, I got an unexpected call from Harper, Kate's 10-year-old. She'd called from her own phone, not her mother's. Aunt Cambria, are you still mad at us? My heart squeezed. Oh, sweetie, I was never mad at you kids. I love you all so much. Then why don't you come over anymore? Because your mom and I need some time apart, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see you. Could we see you without Mom there? What do you mean? Her voice dropped to a whisper. Mom's been really mean lately. She yells all the time and says it's your fault because you don't help anymore. But Grayson says you were helping too much and Mom took advantage. I don't know who's right, but I miss you. Tears stung my eyes. I miss you too, sweetheart. Tell you what, I'll talk to your dad about arranging some time for just us. We can go to Navy Pier like I promised, or the Field Museum, whatever you want. Really, I love you, Harper. I love you too, Aunt Cambria. I reached out to Dalton, and we arranged for me to take the kids one Saturday. Kate wasn't happy about it, but Dalton stood firm. That Saturday was wonderful. We went to the Shed Aquarium, got deep dish pizza at Lou Malnati's, and talked honestly. The older kids understood more than I'd given them credit for. Mom says you abandoned us, Grayson said carefully. But that's not really true, is it? No, buddy, I didn't abandon you. I just needed to set some boundaries with your mom about what I can and can't do. Like how you can't watch us every single holiday? Exactly. He nodded slowly. That seems fair. Mom has us all the time. That's her job, not yours. Out of the mouths of 12-year-olds. I made arrangements to see the kids regularly after that, but always on my terms, and never as emergency childcare. If Kate needed a babysitter, she had to ask in advance. Actually ask, not demand, and accept that I might say no. My mother eventually stopped calling with lectures. I think Griffin talked to her because her messages became more neutral, just updates about family news without commentary about my selfishness. Kate and I didn't speak for 4 months. When we finally did, it was at our grandfather's funeral in March. She approached me awkwardly in the church parking lot. "We need to talk." "Okay." "Dalton's been in therapy. He suggested I go too." She looked at the ground. "My therapist says I have issues with boundaries and entitlement, that I treat people in my life as resources rather than individuals." "Okay," I said again, not sure where this was going. "I'm not apologizing yet because I'm still angry, but I'm working on understanding why what I did was wrong. The therapist says I treated you like an employee rather than a sister." "That's accurate." "I might be ready to apologize eventually, but not today. I appreciate you telling me. When you're ready, I'll be here." It wasn't a perfect resolution, but it was honest. And honestly, I didn't need her apology to feel good about my decision anymore. This Thanksgiving, I spent the day volunteering at a food bank with Natalie and some friends from my glassblowing class. We served meals to 200 people, and I felt more fulfilled than I had during any of those 6 years of forced childcare. The kids sent me a group video message. "We miss you, Aunt Cambria, but we hope you're having a great Thanksgiving." I sent one back. "Miss you too. See you next Saturday for our Chicago History Museum Day." Because that's what love actually looks like. Not obligation, not guilt, not sacrifice that leaves you depleted and resentful. Real love is genuine choice and mutual respect. I'm 37 now, still single, still living in my loft apartment with the new locks. My life isn't empty. It's full of things I chose, friends who value me, hobbies that fulfill me, and boundaries that protect my peace, and I wouldn't change a single thing. If a family member regularly expected you to provide free childcare without respect for your time or plans, would you continue helping to keep the peace? Or would you set firm boundaries even if it caused conflict?